Hey everybody, my name is Paul Eston Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. And welcome to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BoyGreen25. This is the Jet Zone, a weekly New York Jets podcast that's been going on for a decade plus. Okay, on the audio feed, and we've been recently on the video feed as well. We're streaming live simultaneously in 3 different places. My YouTube channel, as I just mentioned, youtube.com/BoyGreen25. My Facebook page for the Jet Zone, and of course the Twitter account for the Jet Zone, the Jets_Zone. Make sure you show all your support for all those channels. Like the video on YouTube, hit subscribe, and of course follow the Jet Zone on all forms of social media. And make sure also, wherever you're watching, if you'd like to get involved live on today's program, feel free to jump in the comment section on Facebook and YouTube. For Twitter, you have to jump into one of the other portals so I can see your questions through StreamYard. So feel free to utilize that platform today, because we've got a lot to talk about. There's another practice, more Jets OTAs in the book. We'll give you kind of a roundabout update from that perspective. Mandatory minicamp is next week. And then there's the great chasm of the NFL offseason, where there's not going to be much happening for about a month and a half outside of, I expect, some veteran signings. So keep an eye out for that, which we'll talk about. However, before we get to all that, guys, I also have to give another shout out. You can also see it in the link down below. Boy Green merch. I mean, come on, baby. How can I not be promoting myself on this thing? Boy Green pint glasses, shirts, hoodies, t-shirts, and all that jazz. Support the channel, and make sure you do that by going to the link down in the description on every of these portals, and you can buy some cool Boy Green merch. See the logo in the top right-hand corner of your screen. And folks, we're all still going to get to the title of today's episode is Darrelle Revis taking Sauce Gardner under his wing. We'll play the clip just in case you missed it, and you can read about more of that story. So let's welcome in a couple of people, and it's great to be back. Let's go to Facebook first. William, what's up, Boy Green? What's up? What's happening? And by the way, speaking of what's up, it's kind of a random detour, random aside. My dad, my father, okay, is going to get to spend some time with my daughter, Zariah. That'll be coming in like late July. I'm still bringing the computer, so the podcast is still going to be going, and that'll be the start of training camp and preseason and all that stuff. But he says he's trying to bring the what's up back. You know what I'm talking about. For some of our older listeners, some of our younger listeners may have no idea what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, what's up? Let's bring in a couple more people. Hey, RKO is back. That's right. Welcome back. Yes, sir. And what's up, Boy Green? RKO 316632. Again, love the Gengar logo. That's so cool. So we've got a lot to get to here on the show. Let's welcome in a couple more people. Ryan Balake. Yo, Boy Green, what's good? Love the new merch, bro. Appreciate it. And by the way, thank you to everyone that's been supporting. You've seen a lot of it on some of these videos. The pint glasses. I bought a tank top, a couple of the different t-shirts, because I wanted to make sure the quality was up to my standards. And so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Again, link down below if you guys would like to support the channel. The other way you guys can today on YouTube, for those that are listening live, the audio will also be later uploaded to wherever you listen to your podcast. So if you prefer the audio form, which a lot of people have over the past decade, you guys will also be able to listen to it in that realm. But if you are doing it live, you guys can support with a super chat on the old YouTube. Throw a little monetary tip, skip the line, make sure you get your question or topic answered, or you just want to show some support for the channel. So that option is available for anyone who is watching on YouTube. Guys, let's go to the tail of the tape. Let's roll the footage. I want to start today's show off with a clip. Darrelle Revis, New York Jets legend, and will be inducted into the Ring of Honor later during the 2022 season, so keep an eye out for that. He joined the Pat McAfee show, and there was a lot of actually really funny bits on the Pat McAfee show, but the one that stood out to me was Darrelle Revis confirming that not only has he spoken with Sauce Gardner, but they exchanged phone numbers. So let's go to the tail of the tape. I'm going to flip over the clip for you guys real quick here, and let's bring it on. Okay, so here it is. This is going to be the clip. This is from the Pat McAfee show that Darrelle Revis joined yesterday. And again, let's play the clip.
Yeah, we spoke. I spoke to Sauce once he got settled. I think it was about a week later after he was drafted, 4th overall. So, yeah, we have each other's number. We just want to continue to communicate as best we can. There's a lot of other DBs on the Jets in the Jets secondary who's reached out as well. So, for me, it's really just kind of. I think this is a new phase for me. It's a new role for me as well. Is I'm trying to, figure out maybe my next chapter in life and things that I'm doing. But for the most part, yeah, we have I think the relationship is going to begin. It's going to start, and it's going to continue to build on the relationship.
Again, I Pat McAfee's like the weirdest dude in history. So you see him like randomly during the interview, by the way, just lining up in the old cornerback stance, showing off his bail technique, as he called it. That was interesting. But the good thing is, folks, is what he just mentioned, because I'm going to play you another clip here. This is from Sauce Gardner. Okay, so why is this so important? First off, I'll react to this Revis clip, and then we'll play the Sauce clip of why this is so important. So long story short, Darrelle Revis joined the Pat McAfee show. Again, great show. That's where the clip is from. You can also check out all these clips on my social media at BoyGreen25, scrolling in the ticker. But essentially, one of Pat McAfee's interns / cohorts on the show asked him, hey, have you kind of taken Sauce under your wing? Have you kind of spoken with him? And in that clip, he said, not only have we spoken, which is awesome, a little after the draft, also, they exchange phone numbers, so they're kind of, staying in touch. And so are other members of the Jets DBs. And I as a quick aside, I just want to say it's great that the Jets organization is welcoming back its legends, Nick Mangold, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Revis, and so many others. I want there to be, and, probably people hate being compared to Buffalo. I think what Buffalo has done a really good job of, by the way, is including their alumni. And I live in New York, and my day job is a sports talk radio host. So I see Buffalo does a really good job, the Buffalo Bills, of keeping their alumni engaged and making sure that they're a part of the current edition, that they're part of the community. So that's something, by the way, I really dig. And I hope the Jets continue to do that on a weird side piece as well. But the reason why this Revis thing was so important, because I'm about to play you guys another clip. Gardner, shortly after he was drafted, said that Revis was an idol of his. It was on his bucket list to meet him, and some other interesting factoids. So we're going to play that clip for you here. This one is, again, back on May 6th. Okay, so this is a bit of an older clip, but I think it's important to show you guys. It's a quick clip, but certainly something that I think will provide some necessary context to the Revis conversation. So let's jump over. We're going to share that clip here with you as we're rolling the tape. And for people that are listening just to the audio, you'll be able to hear the audio here. Here's again Sauce Gardner back on May 6th being talked to and asked about Darrelle Revis. Here it is.
Ever meet Revis or be in touch with him? And what is your impression of him and what he meant for this team?
I mean, he was a great player. I enjoy watching him. I haven't been able to meet him yet, but that's on my bucket list. I've talked to some people in the organization, and we're getting that handled right now. Everybody look at him so highly. That's part of the organization, and that's kind of how I want to be. When I retire, I enjoy being a Jet already, and I know the future is real bright for me. And I can't wait.
And that's awesome. But I will say this. Again, I don't want old Sauce Gardner talking about retirement. Good Lord, you were just drafted, man, for Pete's sake. I get he was, just kind of speaking ahead of time. But nonetheless, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing because Darrelle Revis, of course, is one of the greatest players to ever put on a Jets uniform. He's going into the Hall of Fame. He's going to be first ballot. And I've never gone to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which, by the way, thanks for the follow, Pro Football Hall of Fame on Twitter. Nice flex on them. But however, I have never been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm ashamed to say that as a historian of the game. But my first trip, I'm hoping, is when Darrelle Revis is enshrined in Canton, which, by the way, would be he's eligible for the 2023 class if he's first ballot, which means it wouldn't be this upcoming August. It would be the following August. But either way, that is something for sure that I do want to check out and I do want to see. So that just an aside. But it's so cool. If Sauce could be half the player, obviously, that Darrelle Revis was, then I think we're all in great shape. We will see. Obviously, he's got a lot of talent. He's lanky. I guess we could also play that clip. Yeah, you know what? Okay, we're just in the clip playing mood, so I will play another one. Marc Sanchez. Speaking of kind of welcoming people back, old Marc Sanchez was back at the Jets facilities for the first time. He said since he was playing, which is kind of weird because again he's been kind of removed for a little bit now, so it's kind of surprising that he hasn't made his way back until now. But I thought that was kind of interesting. From Marc Sanchez. He joined the official Jets podcast. And I will also say this. This is something I didn't know before we get to this clip, which is really good. It's really good on Marc Sanchez kind of talking about what he sees in Ahmad Gardner. But real quick aside here, Marc Sanchez only played 4 years for the Jets. Now, technically it's 5 because that 5th season he was injured. But still, Marc Sanchez only played 4 years. I don't know what I would have said. I didn't know the answer off the top of my head. I would assume 6, 7 years. I don't know. I mean, when you do the math, obviously that's not possible because drafted in 2009, we know the 2015 year was Ryan Fitzpatrick. So it makes sense. But it was just kind of crazy when I heard it. But nonetheless, let's play one more clip, and then we'll keep getting to your questions and give you some Jets OTAs updates. But I want to play this clip as well. Marc Sanchez joined the official New York Jets podcast with Eric Allen and was asked about Ahmad Gardner and some of his takeaways. So let's go to this clip, again, from Marc Sanchez speaking with Eric Allen on the official Jets podcast, talking about and giving some high praise to Ahmad Gardner.
They got players, the guys that wow you, the guys that keep offensive and defensive coordinators up at night. Like, damn, how are we going to stop this guy? Or how are we going to block this guy? Or what are we going to do at corner? Because that kid, number 1, Sauce, I mean, that guy's like freaking flypaper, man. He sticks to everything.
Does he remind you of Crow at all?
A little bit like Crow body-wise, but he's got some strength, and he's like got some wiry strength the way Revis was like, dude. I mean, throwing one-on-ones against Revis was like a waste of time for us on offense. You know, it was like, you know, every once in a while, Braylon and Santonio would do all right. And those guys would grind and battle every day in one-on-one. So you get like feelings of that, right? And you don't want to say anything too soon, but this is at least it's going in the right direction.
It absolutely is. And there you go. Marc Sanchez on that one. I love playing these clips. This is cool. But I will say that, man, you give me Crow Marty's body, which, by the way, one of the most athletic freaks in NFL history coming out of Florida State. I still remember the Chargers interception. They kind of one hands back. Ooh-wee. That's nice. And then the wiry strength of Darrelle Revis. Okay, let's just make the perfect corner on a lab tape. A little Crow Marty size, a little wiry strength from Darrelle Revis. Sign me up. So high praise there from one Marc Sanchez, by the way, who fantastic. So really cool to see, again, those guys back. And so, long story short, just to go back through this whole thing, then we'll get to more questions here, is that Sauce Gardner is a guy that needs even more spoken about him. But, man, this Jets secondary is completely remade. You got DJ Reid on one side. You got Sauce Gardner on the other. You go to the slot with a little Michael Carter II action. Then go to the secondary, obviously. You have Jordan Whitehead, who's brand new, and I loved it this week where he called out the media member. And, again, as a fellow media member / fan, like, woof, he called out a media member. We'll probably have to do a video or address that later in the show. But, yeah, Jordan Whitehead there, and then whoever's going to start at the other safety, and it's wide open. I mean, it could be Jason Pinnock, could be Elijah Riley, could be Will Parks, could be LaMarcus Joyner. I mean, there's like a million names that it could be. But, I mean, the secondary is absolutely mixed. So it's kind of great. All right, we got a million questions here, so let's keep them coming. And let's see. John Hepburn. Hey, fellers. What's popping? Welcome to the show. Phil. JETS, baby. New and old fans alike. Welcome to the Jet Zone right here. VR Heldago. Yo, sup. Go Jets. Yes, sir. Love it. Big Daddy. Keep rocking it, Paul. We sure are. We're having a lot of fun on these shows. To me, I know it's the off season, quote unquote. For me, there's no off season. I love doing these shows, baby. This is the best. Matthias, Boy Green, what's poppin', baby? Welcome to the show. VR Heldago. Man, let's bring Revis as an intern and then DB coach. Would be great. I love Tony Oden, who the Jets currently have. They got a lot of really great guys, but we're going to just keep playing clips here. I guess it's just Boy Green kind of, flipping out with all the clip opportunities. You bring up Revis as a potential coach. There's one more clip I have to play, and then we'll stop. But he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he told he had this very interesting clip about one of the secrets to his success. Now, obviously, one of the secrets, and it's no secret, Darrelle Revis was just really good at football. He was athletic. He was uber talented. He was incredibly interesting. But one of the other things was the relentless preparation for old Darrelle Revis. So we'll play one more clip, VR. I wasn't going to play anymore, but you know what? This is another good one. This is another goodie. So let's go to this. This is, again, Darrelle Revis on the Pat McAfee show talking about his preparation. So let's go to the tail of the tape of this clip.
You know, the corner position is just really you have to be a student of the game. I mean, I have notebooks still to where I have my notes in there where I have Terrell Owens and I break them down. I study them. I have, Randy Moss where I still break them down. So it's just really being a student of the game and taking time to really break down these guys and break down their tendencies to really have that skill set of being studious. Also, you just got to be very athletic at the cornerback position. I mean, you got to be able to run fast with these guys. It's some of the best players in the world, and at the receiver position, and they're pretty fast, pretty quick. They're pretty strong, and they're smart as well, and they're pretty explosive. So, you know, for me, it was just being very studious at my job and really trying to, make sure I was prepared every Sunday.
And yeah, that's another good one there from Darrelle Revis in terms of the preparation. That gets me, man. I thought that was cool. And again, all that's from the Pat McAfee show and all these clips I shared on my Twitter account. That's kind of my shtick, I guess. I'm the quote unquote video guy. I was elected the video guy, I guess, over the last couple of years. So when I hear the Jets or, Darrelle Revis doing an interview or anyone talking about the Jets on national platforms, I cut up a clip and share it on Twitter. That's just kind of my job, I guess. That, God delivered, I signed for it. So here we are. But that was a cool one to me that Revis still has notebooks. And man, I now want one of those notebooks for my man cave. That sounds awesome. But he's just name dropping Pro Football Hall of Famers, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, breaking them down. That's the kind of chutzpah you need to be a coach. So I would love to see Revis as a coach. Again, I love Tony Oden, but if they could find some way to use him. Now, Revis kind of hinted at this during the interview. Now, most of you have probably not heard much from Revis since he retired. Revis said during the Pat McAfee interview, he's kind of, working on his mental health and, when you're in New York, which he was for a long time, obviously, and making all these big plays and Revis Island and everything, there's a lot of pressure associated with that. And one of the pressures to be one of the top quarters in all football. So he kind of had to reset, take a step back. He's got plenty of money, obviously, so he doesn't have to rush into anything. And he's kind of thinking about his next step. Is it coaching? Could it be television? Could it be whatever? And man, after he refreshed Revis on the Pat McAfee show, I want him on the Jets, either as a scout or even if it's not full-time, something. You would benefit greatly, obviously, from having Revis in the mix. So I don't know if straight-up DB coach is the answer, but somewhere, because I think he's just that gosh darn talented. But a great point there, VR. Great point. Let's see. RKO. How long do you think Sauce will extend his quote-unquote no touchdowns allowed streak into year one? This is a great question. And I think on some sense, you want it to keep going because it would just be a cool story to talk about in some sense. But on the other side, you maybe just get it right out of the way quick, right? Like, he's caught sleeping or something Hollywood isn't with the Ravens anymore. So whoever, Rashad Bateman, and then it just, it gets out of the way, because it's a lot of pressure, but I think it'll last a little bit. I mean, he's super talented, obviously. And really what I want from Sauce, and this may sound weird, I want him to start getting toasted in practice because that's when it doesn't really count. Like, if you're going to get toasted at all, get toasted in practice, learn from it, be ready for the NFL game. And when you think about the wide receivers the Jets have, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios, Garrett Wilson, now you could get burned a little bit with some of these savvy guys. So how long do I think it lasts? Let's see. I'm just trying to think of the schedule off the top of my head. You play a lot of really good receivers. Cleveland will have Amari Cooper week 2. Week 3, let's see. So you got Bengals. So wow, Jamar Chase. He's going to get a lot of the town. I mean, there's so many ridiculously talented wide receivers. So I don't know how long it lasts. I'm going to cop out here. I have no idea how long it lasts. Maybe a game or two, and then he just gets humbled, and maybe it happens immediately, But maybe I think that's good for him, like when these undefeated teams deep in the season, Jets fans have not had this pleasure. like ever, but you're like 8-0, 9-0. Like you get the loss and you're not thinking about the undefeated season anymore. You're worrying about the Super Bowl, and maybe that's where the focus should be. But it's impressive nonetheless, and he's an impressive kid for sure. Ryan Balake, love it. Revis Island is mentoring the next generation. Sauce Island is imminent. Watch out, NFL. Now, here's the other thing also from the Pat McAfee show. So Darrelle Revis, so we all know Revis Island, right? That's the nickname that he went by in his career. Well, he gave himself a new nickname, which, by the way, as Boy Green, for those who don't know and you're new to the show, I didn't give myself that nickname. That's against the rules. You can't give yourself your own nickname. Like, come on, people. That's not allowed. You can't do that. I mean, I guess you can, but you'll be chastised and made fun of in the social media streets. But you can't be giving yourself your own nickname. However, Darrelle Revis kind of did on the Pat McAfee show, dubbing himself the Darth Vader of fantasy football, saying, and we all know this, if you're not agreeing with this, then you're a liar. You're a stone cold liar. Whenever the Jets, or even in today's day and age, when you have really good wide receiver cornerback matchups in fantasy football, Revis said that those teams would then rest their receivers against the Jets, obviously, in fantasy land, not real life, because like, oh man, Revis is on him. He's going to get squashed, so I can't play him. And cornerback wide receiver matchups are massive in fantasy football weekly roster lineup decisions. However, he dubbed himself the Darth Vader of fantasy football because he always, caused all kinds of ruckus. Now, normally, I'm not a nickname guy to bestow upon yourself. However, I guess Revis is the exception to the rule, but he very much is. It is really cool, though. So, no Sauce Island. Come up with your own thing. I don't know what it is. Is it just Sauce? It's just the nickname itself, his whole shtick? Maybe. I don't know. But no more islands. Damian Woody said it on this show, which, by the way, I'll give this tease. People, for those of you who are either new to the show, old to the show, whatever, okay, we do live streams as we're doing right now. We're answering your Jets questions, talking OTAs and fun stories and all that jazz. But on top of that, we do interviews with amazing guests. And I'm not going to count the chickens before they hatch, okay? But we got a pretty big guest, arguably one of the biggest guests that's ever joined this show. Coming up later, I have a scheduled interview in a handful of hours with said individual, and we'll either post it tonight or tomorrow. I don't want to promote it because I learned a valuable lesson in the radio business. You don't promote it till you got it. So anything could happen that could change this interview. But we got a big interview coming, so make sure you guys, if you aren't already, like the video, hit subscribe on YouTube, and hit the bell notification so you never miss one. We have a massive interview coming, people, and I'm always a man of my word. Wink! So keep an eye out for that. Let's go to Hawk. Hawk's back. Bryce Hall out here like a side baby. Revis wondering what the heck that deal was. I will say we'll save this for another video on the show this week, but I dove into the fan speculation of Bryce Hall potentially moving to safety. So we'll kind of talk about that. That could be as well. Let's keep rolling here again. Wherever you are, make sure you drop a question or topic in the comments section, either on YouTube or Facebook. RKO, love the merch. Just bought a sweet sweatshirt. Nice. Make sure you tag me when you get it. I want to see all you guys in your crazy boy green merch again. Description down below. Pint glasses, shirts, hoodies, sweaters, tank tops, all that fun stuff. Get ready for the summer. VR Heldago. It's funny because Sauce actually comps Cromartie, not Revis. It was situational. Like, because I think that's really how pro player comparison should work. Like sometimes it's a straight up carbon copy. Like there's sometimes players are like, oh, that's that guy. But I think more so it's like the Frankenstein thing we see from like the ESPN advanced graphics they'll put out. Like they'll break down the quarterback's body, the head of Peyton Manning, the arm of this, the legs of this. I think that's the more appropriate way to do it. And so from a frame standpoint, you could definitely see Cromartie with the lanky arms, the speed, the traits, but the wiry strength you can also see on the press coverage techniques, which he did at Cincinnati. So I could kind of see that too. John Hepburn, let's meet up in Canton. Booyah! Let's make it happen. I'd love to meet a lot of you. I know a sexy thing right now. I'm seeing it from fellow Jets content creators, like people on the Jets Lounge and others, all like meeting up for a game this year, and it's like Boy Green Day or whatever day, Matt O'Leary Day. I think Jets Talk Media or Jets Media is doing something. So we'll try to figure out something that'd be cool for all of us, all us Boy Green crazies, fans of the show, to meet up. We will work on that behind the scenes. Let's keep going here. Let me find. I jumped here. VR Held Doggo. The podcast with Sanchez and Mangold is cool. They have great chemistry. No question about it. I love it. And obviously they played together. The only thing I'll say, though, on that is, and I hope it only gets better, it was very, like, it sounded like the Jets came to, and this is not reporting here. This is just my opinion. It sounded like they said, hey, Marc Sanchez, Nick Mangold, the Jets, right? Hey, why don't you guys do a podcast? That'd be cool. And they're like, yeah, sweet, let's do it. And then they didn't really have much structure or thought. They just kind of wung it and threw it together. They had some weird guests, like they had, a Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio. They had Rachel Ray and her husband. That was kind of weird. The Joe Namath episode's great. The latest episode, which is a season finale with Zach Wilson, was super cool. So it seems like they didn't have much of a plan, and also it's super sporadic. They're like, the episodes like months apart. So I hope they do it again. I know they're busy guys, but I hope they do it again because there is obvious chemistry there, and the show's really fun. Let's see. VR Held Doggo, Whitehead and Pinnock. It could be. Like I said, this is one of the most wide open races we've seen in some time. Because again, off the top of my head, I don't have the roster in front of me, but you could make a case for Jason Pinnock, LaMarcus Joyner, Elijah Riley, Will Parks, Ashton Davis. That's another one we forgot earlier. Bryce Hall, if you want to talk about that conversion. I mean, there is like a laundry list of dudes that could be it. And we'll see. It should be a fun training camp battle to watch. Hawk, I believe this is more, appropriate. Sauce like a mix of Deion Sanders and Jesus. I could see that. You could see that on film. I love that. Sauce is a Revis and Cromartie love child. I love this. We got to put this on a T-shirt. That's great. RKO, heard of rumor moving Bryce Hall to safety to get him on the field. Now, there's no rumors. It's not from the Jets. It's from fans. And again, we'll probably explain this in a deeper video, but I'll give you kind of the snack-sized version of this. So, obviously, DJ Reid, $33 million. He's starting at outside corner. Sauce Gardner was the number 4 overall pick. He's starting at corner. And in slot, they, being the Jets organization, loves Michael Carter II. He's not coming off the field. So there's your starters. Now, obviously, you go deeper than that and corners rotate in, but you want to maximize the talent on your roster. And Joe Douglas once said that he wants to put the best players on the field. Now, he wasn't referencing Bryce Hall when he said that. He's kind of talking about the offensive line. And again, we'll just put the best 5 out there. It doesn't have to be this position, that position. So with that mindset, you would think that a natural progression for Bryce Hall to safety would make sense. And as a matter of fact, I wrote an article about this. Lance Zierlein, who's a great NFL draft guy for NFL.com, he even said in his pre-draft combine profile, this before the draft, said Bryce Hall is a corner. That's what he is. However, he would not be surprised if he converted to safety later in his career. And boom, now could be a better time than any, because if you first off, if you put him at safety, he has a better shot at PT. That's just the facts, unless an injury happens. And if you throw him over there at safety, again, there's a lot of analytics that love Bryce Hall last year. Pass deflections, run support. He checks off a lot of boxes. So I'm cool just finding a way to get him on the field. If it's free safety, great. If that's the way, I don't care. I just think he's so talented that he should. But he's not starting over any of the other guys, health pending, obviously. Let's keep going here. We got Big Daddy. There's talk that Bryce Hall could move to free safety. Pinnock at strong safety. They both could surprise. Could be. And I'm hoping that, and I think this is what the Jets are thinking, is that the rest of the defense is so good. We have to see. The proof will be in the pudding. But from a talent perspective, right? So your corners are brand new. DJ Reid and Sauce. You have Jordan Whitehead. Your linebackers are basically the same. But your front, you have Jermaine Johnson, you have Jacob Martin, and you have the guys from last year should be returning, Quentin Williams and all these guys. So if everything else is good, maybe you can hide safety. That's their thought process. VR Hell Doggo. Wow, Revis could teach the coaches. His prep was uncanny during his time. No question about it. And obviously you have to be talented too. We can all be hard workers, but if we're not talented, it's not going to make any difference. So it is a perfect semblance of the two, I believe. All right, let's wow, we got a couple of these, so let's put them in. RKO, let's go, everyone. Do the hokey pokey and hit the like button for my boy Green. Amen, brother. Make sure you do it. Makes a huge difference in terms of the analytics on YouTube. When you guys like the video, YouTube goes, oh, so you guys like this. That's great. That's better for the show. It's better for the brand and all that jazz. So yes, do that. VR Hell Doggo, Hulk smash the like button with caution. Let's not break any buttons on the old keyboard. But that would be great as well. Back to VR Helldago. No disrespect to Sauce, but he's playing at Cincinnati in the AAC. Again, that's another factor of getting the transition. People said about Zach Wilson coming from BYU to the NFL and Cincinnati. We will see. Although he played some pretty good guys. Look at the college football playoff run and things of that nature. But obviously it is the SEC. Sauce Peninsula. You know what's funny? When we had the year of Revis Island and Cromartie, okay, people were trying to think of nicknames. So Revis Island, obviously. Cromartie, people calling him Al Crotraz, okay? And Kyle Wilson, remember when he was drafted at Boise State, the one I gave him was Kayak Kyle Wilson. Again, I get it. It was lame, people, but I was just trying to throw something out there. So if you want to keep it all going like that, Sauce Peninsula, I'm not sure that one rings the same VR, but I love the effort. Let's go. Ooh, Planet Sauce. RKO. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. Let's keep looking here. Let's go to this one. Ragnar Jet. This roster going full Avengers this year. Break it down for us, Paul. Sala, Nick Fury, Clemens, Bruce Banner, Zach, Steve Rogers, Lawson, Brees, Moore. You know who I have to bring on is actually my partner for Heavy on Jets. That's my day job. I'm a New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy on Jets, and all that funky stuff basically means because I write articles every day covering the Jets and these videos, YouTube shows, podcasts, and all that fun stuff. My partner, Michael Obermuller, is actually a massive superhero fan. Not that I'm not. I love superheroes and all that, but he would probably have the better luck with being able to pair all these together. But, you know, like Carl Lawson's got to be like the Hulk, you know. He's so massive and monstrous and things of that nature. But yeah, Zach Wilson, Steve Rogers, giving the Captain America, you know. So we could kind of break this down. But although I kind of get the Clemens Bruce Banner thing, that one makes a lot of sense too. All right, guys, let's go to some OTA highlights. Let's do that from today's OTA sesh. We'll go around with some of the new things that obviously are kind of coming in here on all things New York Jets. Let me give you another reminder. We have OTAs throughout the rest of this week. And then next week, June 14th through the 16th, will be mandatory minicamp. Robert Saleh today said he expects everyone there. And from DJ Bieneme, he believes that Mekhi Becton will be a part of that group. And Saleh didn't specify anyone in particular, but said he expects full participation. Again, if they don't come, there is a hefty fine. I think it goes up to about, I don't know, like $100,000, $150,000, something like that. Field Yates tweeted it out, which again, that money to them are probably pennies, but you know, there's some harsh stuff for not going to mandatory minicamp, but Robert Saleh believes everyone will show up for that. So keep an eye out for that next week. And then we're just going to have a month and a half lull from a Jets organized training activity perspective of things happening. But beyond that, there's a couple of things. There's tight end U. That's coming up at the end of the month. You'll have Tyler Conklin, who's there. Zach Wilson's there. We'll see if C.J. Uzomah's there with the injury. We talked about that last week. But those guys are going to be there. And then Zach Wilson's going to have his own passing camp. I believe that's supposed to be early July, so keep an eye out for that. And then the end of the month is training camps. There is a lot of big things popping here locally from that perspective. But in terms of the organized activities, it's OTAs this week, next week mandatory minicamp, and booyah, we'll see y'all for training camp. We'll be here. We'll continue to be here every week, but those are the thoughts there. Also, we didn't talk about this in any great length because I knew Robert Saleh was going to give us clarity, but I know a lot of people, content creators, fans, are going to loosen their crap over the 30 to 35 snap thing that Jeff Ulbrich said. He said it's a hard rule. We don't do it because obviously that is false. Because as Rich Cimini put in his Sunday morning column, Quinnen Williams and JFM, I think it was, both average over 40 snaps a game, which obviously goes above the 30 to 35. But essentially what Robert Saleh said is that, you know, we want them to be as fresh as possible for the key situational football, which, of course, you go to the 2-minute drill, you go to third downs, and having everybody there from a pass rush perspective. The good thing is that they're just overflowing at the position. They've got Quinnen Williams, Jacob Martin, Carl Lawson, John Franklin Myers, Vinny Curry is another one. They're just Bryce Huff. There's so many names. So Michael Clemens, they've got a lot of talent that will be able to kind of mix in and out. You just got to hope from that perspective, obviously, that it stays fresh. So we'll kind of keep an eye out for that as well. Again, another reminder, make sure you like the video and hit subscribe for all the latest content here as we go through quickly the bunch of Jets OTA comments in action here. for the show. Again, the pace will be the same for those who are asking about that. It's going to be very light. Again, they want to try to prevent injuries. We will have to see ultimately if that helps or hurts. They're going to try to do that based on the litany of injuries that came last year, which was incredibly unfortunate from that perspective. So they're going to try everything in their power to kind of rein it in from that perspective. So keep an eye out certainly for that. And hopefully injuries don't happen. Two guys that weren't here today, quote unquote, for the voluntary OTAs was DJ Reid and Denzel Mims. I have not heard anything extra on why neither was there. Again, no explanation necessary since ultimately from that perspective, it's voluntary, but that is a note from earlier today that both DJ and Denzel were not there. DJ has been there the entire time, and so has Denzel, for that matter, which is really interesting. So a couple of OTA notes from that perspective. Wilson looking a lot better this time around. The defense did have its way a couple of times picking him off in a couple of circumstances, but I'll say on a greater sense that I think a lot of people overreacted to the stupid article. And, again, I respect all my fellow media members, but the stupid article, wow, Zach Wilson's inaccurate during his first 4 passes of the first summer activity. Like, come on, people. Like, the fact of the matter is this, and I see we have like a Becton question, for instance. I'm gonna package all this together from Brandon. Becton can play, or is he still injured? Whether or not, so Becton's missed all of these OTAs. He's been doing his own private work down there with Duke Manyweather, who's phenomenal, and they're doing their own thing. I have to be blunt that while we're going to talk about the OTAs and give you cool takeaways and things that you can kind of carry on and do what you want with, let's not overreact to things one way or another. That is the key, because whether Zach Wilson is 0 for 10 or he's 10-0, like in terms of his passes, 10 for 10, like he's not the second coming of the Messiah if he doesn't throw an incompletion, because we're just talking about, OTAs. However, injuries are the big thing. Avoid those. But it's all going to matter in deep parts of training camp, preseason, regular season. That's when it matters. I don't care if Zach Wilson can't hit water if he fell out of a boat right now. I'd prefer he doesn't if I had the choice, but I'm not going to lose my crap over it, and neither should any of you. I know we're going to anyway, but I wanted to make that clear on either side. Again, injuries are the thing we're watching here. Again, Uzama getting hurt, and then it looked like Garrett Wilson was limping, according to Connor Hughes, after a drill. I haven't seen much more on that, so fingers crossed there from that perspective, but we haven't heard anything else on it. But the fact of the matter is we just need to make sure we don't overreact. But to answer that question, throw it back on the screen. Oh, whoops. I just lost it here. Let me bring that one back up on the screen. So, Brandon, let's bring that back up. Becton, can he play, or is he still injured? So, from the training workout videos we're seeing from Mekhi Becton, he looks great. He looks like he's in great shape. He doesn't look like there's a lot of hesitations. Didn't notice any extra brace, whether on the knee or any other part of his body for that matter. So as far as we know, he's good. Robert Sauce says he should be good by training camp. Remember, he got hurt in the season opener against Carolina Panthers and just had a bunch of surgery. So we will see if he's ready. It seems like from all indications he will be. And when he reports from mandatory minicamp, I think they're going to play it slow, just like Carlos and some of these other guys where they do light work. And that's especially true anyway for the trench players anyway, because they want to minimize the contact of just rhinoceroses ramming heads over and over again, which again could be somewhat pointless at this time of the offseason. But right now it looks like all ships ahead from both the Instagram videos, Robert, Sal, and everybody. But again, ultimately, I guess we'll see from that perspective. No matter where you're watching, guys, make sure you like the video on YouTube. Hit subscribe for more great New York Jets content. We got a big-time interview coming later today. Fingers crossed. We'll see if it goes through, and it'll be one of the biggest interviews we've ever had on this channel. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And by the way, the support has been amazing this summer. When I started this podcast a few minutes ago, or whatever it was, like 40 minutes ago, we were at 1.78 thousand subscribers, which is awesome. And we just want to keep bumping that number up, baby. Let's go. I want to chase all the Moby Dicks of Jets content creators. We have like, Jet Central, which has 27,000 subscribers. Jake Asman, 15K plus. Matt O'Leary, 10K plus. Jets Talk 24/7. All these guys, we want to get in that range. That'd be cool. Oh, let's bring them in. Dark Soldier Crew. What's up, baby? Welcome to the show. Appreciate it, pal. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. Oh, wow. There's some more comments coming in. Dark Soldier, one of the best in the business. All right, let's go to B2B. Becton will be back. What will he be when he is back is what is up in the air. I'd bet a dominant run blocker and good, but sometimes beat pass protector. That's not a bad take to have. I mean, we will see. Obviously, he's an absolute friggin' road grader, and that will help with guys like Bryce Hall in the backfield and things of that nature. We will see. I think he's coming with a chip on his shoulder, and I gave the quote-unquote hot take, I guess. We do a weekly mailbag on Heavy on Jets every Monday. And my take is I believe Mekhi Becton is going to shock people, and he will be the opening day starter at left tackle. A lot of people have assumed that George Fant won that job, and Becton will simply just play right tackle. I think he wins the left tackle job, so keep an eye out for that. I am a believer in that as well. Let's see. B2B. Paul, my son is obsessed with Funko Pops. He wants to know who is that behind you. Sure. You know what? A lot of people have kind of asked behind the desk, so I'll kind of point some things out too. But that is a double dip of Joe Namath. So I will say this. Quick aside, apparently on Funko Pops. I love Funko Pops. I think they're cool. So awesome that your son loves them too. So I got back to, no one's ever asked me about the Funko Pops, but right here I got back-to-back Joe Namaths. And, so my family knows I'm a crazy Jets fan. And my future in-laws and that entire side of the family just knows I'm a Jet fan, so they just get me stuff. So they double-dipped on the Joe Namath, but not a bad guy to double-dip on, by the way, if you're going to have that. And I'm a massive fan of, the Funko Pops, but the problem is I like too many things. For those who also don't, I'm a big anime fan, so I love Naruto. It's not on camera, and I can't twist the camera, but over in this corner over here, I'm a big Pokemon. Obviously, the tattoo on the arm probably gave it away. But Pokemon, Naruto. So I got a lot of manga over there, or manga, depending on your pronunciation. So I got a lot of that kind of stuff over here in the corner, which is nice. All the Jet stuff as well. But I just love too much stuff, B2B. That's my problem. Is that I would have a million Funko Pops. I would just keep dumping money into it because, I'd get Inuyasha, I'd get Naruto, I'd get football players, Jet stuff. So it would just be too much. That's my problem. It would be too much. But let's look around the desk real quick. So, okay. So over this shoulder, this helmet right here is, of course, one of the Retro Jets helmets, which is amazing. But it's signed by the entire New York Sack Exchange. I got all 4 signatures on there. Marc Gastineau, Joe Klecko, Marty Lyons, and Abdul Salam. So we got all those over here, and I won it in a cheapo contest. It was one of those auctions. I don't do many auctions, I'll be honest. But this auction in particular was like, hey, we've got 12 spots. And if you give $20, you get a spot, and then just one person will randomly win. We'll just see whoever that ends up being. So I said, what do I have to lose? A friend of mine, Joshua Rowe, I'll give him a shout out. Okay. And he just said, hey, there's this contest going on. You may want to enter. I'm like, all right, whatever, $20, boom. And then they send that puppy. I'm like, sweet. So I got lucky there. Let's see, right here, this Madden copy. I am a diehard Madden fan, for those who don't know. So the Madden is autographed by my 2 guys. The voices that you hear on Madden, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've done wonderful work for my charity, doing stuff for the Wounded Warrior Project, military guys, to support the troops. So they've sent me some stuff, and I've bought some stuff too. So we got the Antonio Brown, which, yikes, but Antonio Brown autographed Madden copy I have here. This football that's right here is an autograph. I guess I could tell the story, but it doesn't have any Jets connections. But this autographed football was supposed to be for a charity event, but before NIL, so this was the starting quarterback of the Syracuse football team, who was supposed to be the second coming. His name's Tommy DeVito, for those who don't know. And he signed this football as part of a charity event I was doing. And I raised 100% of the proceeds goes to the Wounded Warrior Project. Because of COVID, we have not been able to do the charity the last couple of years. But I do like a live draft show. And I get all kinds of awesome, famous guests that either I've done radio shows with or these mini stream TV shows with. And they send autograph items, and we auction them off for charity, and we give all the money to charity. However, so I got this autographed ball, which, again, 100% of the proceeds go to charity, but they didn't care. If I would have sold this ball, which, by the way, it was up for auction, the star quarterback, he didn't end up being a star, but the star quarterback for Syracuse would have been ineligible. He would have never made it. So people would have been at my friggin' doorstep with, torches and pitchforks trying to look for my soul because I somehow made the star quarterback of Syracuse ineligible to play before he took over the mantle. So that's kind of a crazy story there on the Tommy DeVito football. Let me see what else we got over here. Let me look. I got the Jets Super Bowl ring, a little replica Super Bowl ring. I've showed that before. That's pretty nice. Let's look at the desk. Let me keep looking here. A bunch of Jets hats. I'm a Jets hat guy. You can't see it, but in this hallway over here, that's off camera, all the way down the entire hallway from ceiling to floor are hats. Most of them Jets. They have these like little hook stickers that you plug into the wall and you just hang a hat on. I got like 1,000 hats, so I'm a big hat guy, as you could tell. So I got some of the hats on the desk where I switch it. Try to switch up my gear like I'm wearing I'll take this off screen real quick. That I'm wearing this like Jets training camp shirt from a couple of years ago. So I just wear a bunch of Jet stuff. So I try to mix up the merch and the hats and all that stuff. So that's nice. Let's see. That's basically it. And I got some, my fiance pictures of that and Jets golf balls, Jets glass, and all kinds of random Jet stuff. So, but yeah, the desk is nice. It's good stuff. But yeah, I am a freak on I mean, it is a million. I will have to do it on Twitter or something, but it is like I have an unbelievable amount of Jet hats and jerseys. I probably have, off the top of my head, 55 jerseys, and 99% of them are Jets. I mean, there's other ones because my dad was on the USS, was in the Navy, and he was on several submarines, so like the USS Tennessee, the USS Georgia. So I have those college jerseys, like an AJ Green college jersey from when he played. I have a random Tennessee Volunteers jersey, but most of them are just Jet players from history. So I have a ton of jerseys and hats. I am a jersey guy. Go back to Ryan Balake. Becton should be back and healthy, spending time with his family and working out accordingly. He will be there for minicamp, and I expect big things this season. I mean, Ryan, you put it beautifully. Again, all this right now is voluntary. Would you love him there? Of course. You would love all the players there. But again, he's spending time with his newborn, and God bless. As a guy that, again, my baby turns 5 months at the end of June. I understand, and I would love to spend more time at home if I could, but I'm a working man, so I can't. So if you have the opportunity, enjoy. Definitely take it out. Let's go to this one here. RKO, I bet your boy's secret interview will be the immortal Hulk Hogan. Oh man, I love Hulk Hogan. Also, for those who don't know, I'm a big wrestling fan, and maybe you can hear that a little. But a couple of people called me the Paul Heyman of Jets podcast. Again, great respect for Paul Heyman. He's the guy. I don't give spoiler alerts. I don't give predictions. I butchered it. I don't give predictions. I give spoiler alerts. I do that on the radio all the time. So I yank that from Paul Heyman all the time. But Hulk Hogan would be sweet. I love it. Apparently, random Hulk Hogan story, my fiance's family was at this random bar somewhere, and Hulk Hogan was singing karaoke. I was like, what? He was singing karaoke down in like Florida or something. They got like a video of it and put it on Facebook. So apparently Hulk Hogan is going to be like on the next episode of The Voice or something. Not really. I'm just like, he was a singer. I'm just kidding. But Dark Soldier, Boy Green gives the best intros. Yes, sir. I've gotten a lot of compliments. Dark Soldier, I know for you, the crew, PD Pablo, the guy from Jets Lounge Twitter Spaces. He loves PD. And you with the crew. Let me think. Deuce, remember Leger Duzable? We'll have to have him back on the show. He loved that intro. So yes, I'm an intro guy. I also do PA. So one of my other jobs, I do a million jobs, is I am the voice of this semi-professional football team called the Syracuse Strong. So every Saturday home game, I do PA. Now, normal PA work is just 1st and 10, 35-yard line. Like, it's supposed to not be all crazy. But Boy Green can't rein it in. So I'm going, like I'm like almost doing play-by-play, but like on the mic to the entire stadium. So some people hate it. A lot of people love it, and I just do that. I'll be like, unbelievable touchdown, 30, 20, 10, 5, he's in there, booyah. Or like when, if players just drop the ball, and they probably want to kill me. Like after I get out of the booth, and the opposing team must want to hunt me down when I'm running to the parking lot. But if someone drops the ball, I'll make fun of them and be like, I had a few Butterfingers from the concession stands. Old Johnny there dropping the ball. And so I make a lot of jokes. I try to have fun and be entertaining for the fans. And if I'm ever dead, like I don't come up for a Jet Zone episode, it's probably because I was murdered for just making fun of the team. And then some 6'7" offensive lineman is going to like beat me up in the parking lot. Like that's probably going to happen in the future. But that is true. I love doing the voice work. Football is my passion. Ryan Balake. I'm very convinced our offensive line could be potentially top 10 this season. We played our expectations. I mean, look at it on paper, Ryan. So you got tackles. Again, we're just going to talk about on paper, no injuries, right? George Fant, Mekhi Becton, that's a solid tackle tandem if they could stay healthy. Go to guard. You got Elijah Vera Tucker, Laken Tomlinson. I think they're phenomenal. One's a Pro Bowler already, Laken, and one is a perennial All-Pro. And Connor McGovern, I mean, the PFF analytics say he had a really good year last year, and he's only going to play better with better talent around him. So I think it can be good. One of the best offensive line the Jets have had in a decade plus, easily for sure. RKO, I have a wall of Funko Pops. Nice. A few of my friends do as well. So there you go. B2B, he has me buying like one a week on the Funko Pop. That's what I mean, man. I can't. Thankfully, I've stopped. I didn't buy any for myself. The two that I have, I was gifted, but I would just buy them every week. Every day I would buy them. So I'd just be screwed. All my money would disappear. VR, Pokemon and Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, 100%. Obviously, I'm a massive Dragon Ball Z fan. I love Dragon Ball Z. That is the best. So Pokemon, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. Trying to think of Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's basically, out of all the shows I love, I guess the one difference is kind of Pokemon, although it's kind of in there too. It's kind of like fighting anime because Yu Yu Hakusho is like martial arts. For those who don't know, I will be in the near future testing for my 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo. So I'm a big Taekwondo guy. I'm a big martial arts guy and MMA fan for that matter. So Dragon Ball Z obviously is like big macho guys fighting and superpowers and cells and everything else that's Dragon Ball, and Naruto the same way, right? It's ninja fighting and stuff like that. So yes, fighting and all that stuff is awesome. B2B, that helmet is awesome. Yeah, it's easily one of my most prized possessions. I mean, it's so cool. And obviously, these guys, not in a morbid way, they're not going to live forever. I mean, this is even with everyone alive. I mean, this is amazing, but it's a one of a kind item for sure. It's a one of a kind item. Keep it simple, RC. If you had it your way, what helmet color design would you have the players wearing for the Jets? So I'll again, New York Titan uniforms. I love. I think I may have mentioned that on Jet Central interview last week. I love the New York Titans uniforms. I think they're sweet. I love, actually, I know apparently this is a hot take, the Gotham green stealth black spotlight white. I love this current edition of the Jets jerseys. The old ones right before these that lasted 2002 to 2017 or 2015 or whatever that was. They were fine at first, but then they kind of got dull. The green was kind of dull. So this new pop of stealth black spotlight white Gotham green really pops. Again, I love the Kelly green. You go back in the day, the 80s and 90s. I love that. But so I love the current edition. I would love the New York Titans uniforms as a whole back. And also that helmet, baby. These are the days. That Jets uniform is spicy. That looks good. So I hope we see a throwback to that in the future. Ryan Balake, yo, Paul, I was thinking, would you ever set up your show for listeners to call in and offer thoughts and questions when the Jets season begins? That's an interesting thought. And again, I'm always willing to move and groove. Listener call-ins would be interesting. I've seen a few people, and unfortunately, just kind of horror stories that, I'm operating right now on a thing called StreamYard. And essentially what this allows me to do is it's a live video platform, and I could stream simultaneously to a bunch of my social medias, depending on what kind of show it is. For the Jet Zone, my weekly Jets podcast that we're doing right now, it streams live to the Jet Zone Facebook and Twitter page, which is convenient, and my YouTube channel where I log everything. And then there's other times where I'm just kind of doing a random video. If I'm streaming live or an interview or something, it's to my own Twitter or whatever. Again, long story short, I can invite technically anyone. Right now, if I wanted to, I could grab this invite link and then drop it in the chat, and then any of you could then click it and join me. However, there's two problems here. First off, I guess I can kind of green screen you. I can see you before, when you click that link, I could see it before I bring you guys on the show. But people could do stupid stuff. And unfortunately, I've heard too many, horror stories of people just whipping out their wang or something. And I'm like, geez, come on. You're ruining it for everyone doing something stupid or going crazy. And again, since it's a streaming live on all my platforms, there's no, like at the radio station, there's a delay. If one of you guys comes on my radio show and flips the lid and says something crazy, I could just go, I can knock you off and then dump you, and then it'll save it from going over air. But I don't have that here. So I guess that's the capabilities. I would be interested in it, though. I know a lot of other shows do it. Let's see, the call-in show. Oh my gosh, Jets Today. I know they do the call-in show, and there's a couple others. Jake Asman does one, and I think Matt O'Leary might do one too. A bunch of them do it, and that's cool. So I'd be interested. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be open to it. We're going to really be expanding things as we're moving forward here, because we're going to start doing more of my segments. And now that we're kind of fully on YouTube, we're going to do my behind enemy lines where I talk to an expert from whoever the Jets are playing that week. So Ravens, I'll talk like the Ravens guy from The Athletic or something the week of, and we'll be doing live shows throughout the week. So that's something I'm open to, Ryan. That's very interesting. But I have heard a lot of horror stories from that perspective. Let's see. RKO, Goku, Cap, Austin Powers, Pikachu, Black Panther, Deadpool, Michael Myers, Terminator, Undertaker, Professor Chaos, Epic. Yeah, a lot. I'm an Austin Powers guy. I love Austin Powers. Goku, of course. Pikachu, Black Panther, sure. Deadpool is like an awesome one. I love Deadpool. So that's it. Ooh, there you go, Ragnar. No, Paul's big guess is David Spade to talk Farley, Tommy Boy, and Jets. Oh, man, that would be cool. Of course, I'm a massive Chris Farley fan. For those who don't know, God rest his soul. And, Black Sheep, Tommy Boy, and another one, Beverly Hills Ninja. That is an underrated movie. I love and I just love the quotability of some of these. And David Spade, obviously, is fantastic. I love David Spade. So, yes, that would be an awesome guest. He is not the guest, but I love that. Let's see. Paul Esden Jr., the man with 1,000 jet hats, a la Dean Malenko quote. Yeah, there you go. Yes. I will have to do that. That'll either be on social media or something. I'll take a bunch of pictures of my random jet stuff in the house. That'll be cool. Let's go through a couple more here before we sign off. Timothy Garrett, Hall at free, Pinnock at strong 2 years from now, future starters. That could be possible. Jordan Whitehead's only signed a 2-year deal, which I thought was kind of interesting. So that's really interesting as well. So it could be for sure. I would love to see it. Although in 2 years, Bryce Hall's contract will be up. He only has 2 years left on his contract, so you'd have to re-sign him. So we'll see there. And Pinnock, so we'll have 1 year left. So we'll kind of have to see there, but that would be interesting. Did I name a kid after a Jets player? I only have one child right now. We will see what happens. That is Zariah Luna Serenity Esden. And no, that's not after a Jets player. I think I would remember that name if that was after a Jets player. But I do love what Mike Greenberg says. I know a lot of you aren't the biggest Mike Greenberg fans of the world, but he was going to name his son Chadwick Lavernia Santana something Greenberg. Like, that's funny. I would love to do that. But if I do have a son, and I would love a son, he's going to continue the family name. Will be PE3, the next RG3, Paul Esden III. That is it. That will be the name of my child. That was predetermined when I was growing up. My dad kind of told me how important that was, and I will forever have that. Yes, it'll be PE3 is the next baby's name if a baby happens. I think so. It'll probably happen, but we'll see. Not yet though. Not yet. Let's let the first one simmer a bit. Ryan Balake, I know you said that you're an anime fan. Have you ever seen Full Metal Alchemist and Death Note? If you have seen them, what would you rate them? I've seen parts of Full Metal Alchemist. I also played, I think it's on PS2. I've never seen Death Note, so if that's worth it, guys, send me your recommendations, and you can also send it privately after the show. I'm always looking for more anime. I've not seen One Piece either. I know that's probably sacrilege. That's another big one. But Full Metal Alchemist, I've only seen sparingly, so I can't give it a rating, or Death Note for that matter. But again, Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the best anime of all time. If you guys haven't seen it, it's 4 seasons. I have it all on DVD. It's terrific. Naruto is terrific. Dragon Ball Z is, but probably my favorite is Yu Yu Hakusho of all time. The Spirit Gun, Spirit Detective. I just love it all. And I got the 4-box set at Walmart a while back. Keep it simple, RC. Nothing like a week 1 preview on June 8th. Will we walk away with the W after week 1? I say yes. You know, a lot of things are going to happen between now and then, but I say yes, because you're going to have 4 months to prepare for your Robert Saleh. He should have some interesting cooked up for a very unique offense. And the Ravens defense is really good too. So you're going to have to be really smart as your Mike LaFleur entering a new season. But hell yeah, they're not some impossible team. Look at all the losses they had last year. They can do that too. Let's see. Nick H. Do you think Jermaine Johnson makes an immediate impact? Yes and no. The reason why I'm not trying to cop out here, Nick, the reason why I say no, it's a rotation. So it's not like that, he will have an impact when he's on the field. He's a really good run defender, and situationally maybe gets 5 to 7 sacks or something. I just don't know if he gets enough run to reach that unbelievable level. from that perspective. So that's kind of my take on that. Well, I mean, we'll see. I think he will make an impact when he's on the field and he's playing. He's going to be really good. But how often is that? How do the reps work? I don't know. Ragnar Jet, Hulk Hogan is a huge Tampa Bay fan. However, Jets have Adam Sandler. Any of you guys see him at a game? He goes a lot, and he bought out the whole team in Mr. Deeds. Yeah, I love Adam Sandler. Huge Adam Sandler fan. That goes without saying. I've never seen him at a game. I've gone to 6, 7 Jets games in my life. Again, I didn't live in New York until about 14 years ago, so I had zero opportunity prior to that. I was like moving all over the place, South Carolina, Georgia, places like that. So I've never seen him at a game, but I've gone to like random season openers. I went to the Jets-Bengals season opener a bunch of years ago. I've been to the Jets-Patriots Week 16, Ryan Fitzpatrick overtime winner. I've been to that one. I just went to Jets-Bills last year. That was unfortunate. I went to a Jets-Seahawks game a couple years ago. I've only seen the Jets play at their home. I haven't seen the Jets play on the road. Oh, that's a lie. I saw the Jets play on the road in Buffalo. So I've been to like, I don't know, 10 Jet games-ish, something like that, but I would love to go to more for sure. But I've never seen them at a game. We are not rubbing those kind of elbows. Ronald Perry, that's it. Beverly Hills Ninja, great movie. Let's go to Brandon. I like Hall at DB, honestly. I think he's going to step up this season. I hope so. He's a really talented player. Let's see. Any chance Lamar Jackson holds out week 1 for a new contract? No, I don't believe so. From what I understand, this voluntary stuff is just Lamar being Lamar. Like it's nothing serious at all. He's the one who I guess isn't negotiating, and he's like his own agent, I believe, and his mom is too. So no, I don't think so. That'd be funny. But then they would have, is it Huntley? Who's their backup that kind of popped last year? I can't even remember. Is Josh Johnson still there? That'd be kind of a cool revenge game. Charles M. How many yards for Garrett Wilson this year? This is an interesting question. Now, first wide receiver drafted by the Jets in the first round, 21 years. So, yeah. Thank you. In terms of yards, 850, something like that. It's going to be split up with Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, Braxton Berrios, C.J. Uzomah, Tyler Conklin, Jeremy Rucker, Bryce Hall. Like, there's so much spreadage to be had that it probably 850-ish range is my best guess on June 6th. We'll see, though. Super versatile, really talented player. Brandon Mcneil, I think Jermaine Johnson will make an immediate impact even more so if Carl Lawson is 100% healthy and plays to even 85% of his capability. Yeah, again, there's a lot of guys there, and they will help feed each other. They will help feed each other from that perspective. So that should help. We will see how much it helps. The good news is he's not going to be double teamed off the bat like Carl Lawson will be, Quinnen has, but like Jermaine will have that advantage where he's going to kind of have to prove himself. And if he does, then he'll garner the attention. Ruggs 89 New York. This is the most anticipated season opener of my lifetime. Ruggs, I don't know how old you are. I'll assume the 89 means 1989, but that's probably a bad assumption. I don't like it's high. To me, it's not that most highly anticipated. If you go to the like 2009, 2010 Jets, just to be somewhat in recent memory, like heading into that Baltimore Ravens season opener was massive. This one I'm excited for. I'm not trying to denigrate this season opener. It's good. You got a great chance to test your mettle against one of the best teams in the AFC and the NFL for that matter. So it's a great opportunity. I'm not sure if it's the most anticipated, but I am really ready for it. I'm really excited. Okay, let's go a couple more here, then we'll wrap up. Ryan Balake, make sure to see Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Death Note. Personally, my top 10 all time. You won't be disappointed. Well, if you haven't seen I will do that. You see Yu Yu Hakusho if you haven't already. Best anime of all time. I love that. All right, it looks like the last one here coming in from Keep It Simple RC. What name non-quarterback will be talking about most coming out of the preseason for the Jets? What name non-quarterback? So now you got to think of what the preseason is. So, and again, it's like who can be highlighted in the preseason? Who can perform in the preseason and kind of pop? What I tend to think is not running back because they're not going to pound the crap out of like Bryce Hall. So probably not. Carl Lawson, maybe, again, the same kind of hype train if he's in there situationally for a couple of the preseason games. Again, there are 3 preseason games. We have a primetime preseason game. Woo! Yes. Monday Night Football preseason, baby. I know you guys wanted more preseason games. You got it. Not quite probably what you were looking for, but booyah. You got it. That was announced earlier this week. Jets Falcons. Yeah. Love it. That's phenomenal. But probably Carl Lawson will have some hype. especially if he looks anywhere like he did last year. Probably one of the wide receivers, like Elijah Moore, because he didn't play at all in the preseason last year. Remember, he was injured. Like Elijah Moore or Garrett Wilson, maybe. Because wide receiver, you could do that. You could just catch the ball, go out of bounds, avoid all the contact. So probably one of the wide receivers or Carl Lawson would be the answer to my question. RKO, do you take anything out of Jets Giants in preseason game 3 on Sunday at 1 p.m. time slot? Absolutely not. And the reason why, and we only have a very small sample size because the new preseason schedule of only having 3 games as opposed to 4. The only 2 teams have 4, and those are the participants of the Hall of Fame game. No, last year's 3rd week of the preseason, which is this preseason finale, the Jets didn't play any of their starters. Zach Wilson didn't see the field. So I imagine they're going to employ a similar strategy. Unfortunately, that would be cool because I like the Jets-Giants thing, and normally there's something there. And I love the Snoopy Bowl. They don't call it that anymore, but I still will. So Jets-Giants I love. Unfortunately, it's the final preseason game this year. It's Eagles, Falcons, Giants, and unfortunately, they're just going to be resting starters. So, no, sadly not. I will not be. I will say this, though. In terms of I am a preseason freak. I love the preseason. I watch a preseason because even if the stars aren't playing, and I get it, everyone wants to see the starters. I'm a Hard Knocks fan. I love seeing the little guy fighting for his chance. So these guys that are playing, some people don't like it because they see these guys playing and go, wow, these guys are 99% of them are never going to play in the NFL. Why the hell am I wasting my time? I get the people that say that. But for me, I love the stories. When they're talking about them, they're like, wow, little Johnny, he's been, this is his 4th preseason opportunity of trying to make the team. And, he went through all this crap and man, look at this kid. So I'm really intrigued by this story. So I love the preseason personally. Charles M., which throwback alternate uniforms do you want to see this year? Again, New York Titans, the Kelly Green Jets. Unfortunately, there's 2 problems. First off, I believe it's a safety issue, if I read correctly in the NFL rulebook. They can have multiple alternate helmets because of the CTE concussion technology they have in certain helmets or something, so you can't switch them. They like having the same ones basically all year. They can control it better, basically, is what I read. So that's why there's not as many alternates as there used to be from that perspective. So that's number 1. Number 2, I don't believe off the top of my head that they have any set for this year. Maybe they do, but I don't think so. But I would love to see Kelly Green. We haven't seen that one in a long time. That would just look so sharp. New York Titans for sure. That would be really nice. That'd be really nice. Okay, a couple more quickies here. Let's go Ragna, Jet, Paul. So let's just say that either Tom Brady or Belichick wanted to come on your show. Would you still say hell no? No, I would. I'd bring him on the show. I ran into Tom Brady in Syracuse. He was a guest at a Syracuse basketball game, so I saw him then. I was like, up yours, Brady. I have no idea what I said. I was a media member, so I probably didn't say that. But, I would welcome him on the show. Belichick is a super smart football guy. I think he's a Bella cheat, but I'd still bring him on the show. I have no qualms with that, and I'd probably grill him a little bit. But yeah, no, those would be interesting guests. They have some worldliness to them from that perspective. A couple suggestions here from Ruggs, Carl Lawson, Becton. Again, we will see. I think they're going to be cautious, so we'll see how much PT actually gets. So it's like, again, coming out of the preseason, what is it? So I don't know about that there. Brandon, are we doing any joint practices this season like we do with the Packers? There are 2 additions off the top of my head that we're doing, and there may end up being 3. So normally these joint practices you do with teams that you're playing in the preseason. So it's with the Giants. That's been confirmed. The Jets wanted to do it last year. Giants didn't, so it kind of caused a whole rift. They're doing that. The Falcons are having joint practices with the Jets, and I believe they will end up doing it with the Eagles. There's just such a relationship there with Joe Douglas, Howie Roseman. So there's at least 2 sets of joint practices for both of those games, and I believe there will be for the Eagles. That's unofficial. That's just my informed speculation on that. But you better wrap Carl Lawson in friggin' bubble wrap, man, and keep him anywhere near that joint practice because not worth the risk. But Giants, Falcons, and I believe there will be one with the Eagles. Rashawn. Oh, yeah, my boy. Welcome back, Rashawn. What's up, man? How do you think we can earn our respect back in the league this year? One way, Rashawn, and maybe this is not the answer you're looking for. You win games, okay? You just got to win. So, like the people complaining like the Jets have 1 preseason game, primetime game. They have 2 now. Falcons preseason and the Jaguars. Booyah. I know that's not the same, but it's winning football games. Like, okay, you want primetime games. Well, win, sucker. The Jets have had 1 winning season in the last 11 years. They were 10-6, and it was just a straight Then you make the playoffs in 2015. So the only way to get it is to win. And the Jets need to win. They haven't won. So that's why they haven't got it. So that's it. You got to win football games. And I'll tell you this, if the Jets are like, I don't know, let's just throw a record at the wall, 9-8, and all of them they competed in, even the losses, primetime games will come. Now, Jet fans can nitpick, like, why the hell do the Bears have like 3? I don't know. They're a historic franchise. You could nitpick what you want, but don't worry about anyone else. Worry about yourself. Win football games. You want primetime games? You want respect? Win. Don't just, wow, that Jets team was tough. No, I'm sick of the gosh darn moral cookies, man. No. Save the cookies, leave them in the oven, let them burn. No moral cookies. Win some freaking football games. That's what Paul says. Let's go to, whoops. All the comments flying in quick. I'll come back to you. Ruggs, real quick. One Jets Drive, #1 NFL show of all time. And they're running circles around the rest of the league. Yeah, they do a phenomenal job. I think the first episode, I was invited to the Jets special premiere. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it. I am too far away for the debut of One Jets Drive, which I would love to see and hang out with a bunch of the Jets people up there. That probably will not happen. But I believe that drops like June 17th. So I'm looking forward to it. It's like a Hard Knocks for your own team. It's great. So you don't even have to be. Jets were eligible for Hard Knocks this year, but you don't even have to be to get that full experience. It's so cool to get the behind-the-scenes access. Interesting. Charles M. The league has made exceptions for the helmet rule this year. I hope so. That's awesome. Rashawn, damn straight. That was what I was looking for. Well, booyah. I deliver. Okay, I'm the mailman. I always deliver. Whatever you want, rain, snow, sleet, or hail, we'll deliver what you mail. I think I saw that either on a t-shirt and an Animal Crossing. Either way, thank you for that. Let's say hello to a couple more people here. RKO, thanks for doing what you do, Paul. Peace out. Got to bounce. Well, see you, pal. I'm about to sign off as well. Got to do some extra baby action and to take the baby and the fiance out for a walk and kind of stretch out the legs. So I'll be doing that after this. Let's see. Ruggs, Jets Media, 2nd and 9, and One Jets Drive is the best NFL show, period. Yeah, it's fantastic. Let's see. Brandon McNeil. Santonio Holmes, I blame more than Fitz for that Dolphins loss. Boy. For me, here's how. By the way, I'm a big Santonio Holmes fan. I met him at training camp several times, and I have a framed Santonio Holmes jersey in my office, which, by the way, I got to somehow get on this screen to get it some more PT. But Fitz, and I'm more so talking about the Bills' loss at the end of 2015, not Dolphins, but the Bills in the final, 3 picks in the final quarter, and you lose by 5, 22-17. They lost that same score twice to the Bills that year. Jets had everything to play for. Bills had nothing to play for. You just got to deliver. Unless you're talking about the Santonio Holmes walk away at the end. I think there was Geno Smith maybe. But either way, I blame more so on Fitz. Ragnar, start putting more of your famous quotes and sayings on your merch. Awesome logo too. Love it. Well, Ragnar, make sure you collect a lot of the things I say. Apparently I'm like an action figure with chutzpah and all these other things. Give me some ideas. I'll throw them on the merch shop. If there's something you guys want to see, let me know and we'll put it up there for sure. Let's see. Roland, how about getting respect by punching them in the mouth, as Clemson says? There is something to be said about just a feisty team, as punching someone in the mouth and demanding your respect from that fashion. But to me, the real way you do it, outside of like a fluky win, but like just winning consistently, is wow, look at this Jets team. I don't want to play them. That's the key. So yeah, punching them in the mouth with your running game and your physicality, those are all important. But wins, I think, ultimately transcends all of that. And Ruggs, Boy Green's part of Jets Media, homeboy. You bet your sweet cheeks I am. So really appreciate that. Guys, thank you so much. This was a fun show, a long show, but well worth it. Make sure you show your support for the channel. Like the video. Hit subscribe. If you can donate and do all those things like super chats and buying merch from the shop, it means the world to me. But even if you can and you can't afford to, it doesn't matter to me. As long as you like the video and hit subscribe, it doesn't cost you a penny. It's free to do. Tell a friend, share the word, because we got some great stuff coming. Like I said, folks, there is a big time interview happening. I would reveal the guest, and I think I may have in a couple of other interviews this week. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but we got a major, massive interview coming later tonight. Again, it may post tonight, it may post tomorrow. We'll see with my special guest and his limited window, how that's going to work. But I'm telling you guys, make sure you hit the bell notification and you'll never miss a video here on the channel. Again, like, subscribe, check out the merch store. It's down in the description down below, and tag me if you buy anything and show your support. There's all kinds of ranges from classic t-shirts to premium t-shirts, or a lot of cheap stuff in there. So again, anything you do does support the channel. Thanks everybody for another episode of the Jet Zone. Like I said, we'll have a couple more interviews later this week, so stay tuned to the channel, but we'll be back for another Jet Zone live stream coming up next Wednesday. Thanks everybody, and peace out. Enjoy your Wednesday.